Hello everyone and welcome to the 50 Keys 50 Decks recap video. So we ended up with 82 rep, which honestly it feels like I did 40 key. 40 keys, 40 decks. If you consider that in the first 9 keys I only had 6 rep, right? And then the last key, which was a community key, which you must have seen yesterday, was essentially a wasted key, right? So out of 10 keys, I got 6 rep. So that means in the other 40 keys, I got 76 rep, which is almost 2 rep per key, which that's pretty good, I think. Obviously things started very rocky and very stressful. This is a very stressful challenge to do, of course, and really I read every comment that gets posted in the videos. I try not to get engaged with the bad ones, but sometimes I can't help it. But overall, I think I've been thinking a lot about this and why the feedback for this series and the last season is so different, right, than in the other videos, and why do I can tell when I'm recording, when I'm playing. Like, for me, it's a different mindset, okay? And I'm gonna say, like, the first thing, is that for those people who tell me, hey man, just chill, it's just a game, like, it might be a game for you, but this is not just a game for me, right? And I think that's something that if you're not, like, hyper competitive and you are not dedicating your life to this, then how can you possibly understand, right? How can you possibly come on here and tell me to chill out is just a game when your income doesn't rely on this game, when your income doesn't rely on the videos, when your income doesn't rely essentially on your reputation, right? Like, I've built tablemon. The reason I started making videos was I saw what other PTCGO channels were doing, right? And I figured no one that was doing videos at the time was a competitive player. Right now there's a ton, right? But I was the first true competitive player, and my thinking behind starting tablemon was, well, if you want to get good at playing in tournaments, you want to watch someone who does good at tournaments, right? If you just want to play for fun, then there's plenty of channels that play for fun, right? And they do better, right, than the competitive channels. Plenty of other channels do way better than mine in terms of numbers. And I understand, right? There's the entertainment aspect, which people value a lot more, right? The competitive aspect is a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche, right? So it's a very small sample size, but that's what tablemon is. It's like 99% competitive, right? I feature decks that are not competitive sometimes, but there's always a justification because they did well in a recent tournament or there's hype behind the card, so I try it out. But overall, I think the biggest thing I want to say, I feel like I'm going on a tangent, is why is 50 keys 50 decks so different than the rest of my content and the rest of the content available, and why does it show a part of my personality that perhaps people don't like, right, can't identify with, and it comes down to this whole, like, this is not just a game for me, okay? I built tablemon to show the competitive aspect, to show the essence of what it is required to become a competitive player in the game, to show what goes through the mind of a very competitive player in the game, a very analytical player, and I would like to think, based on my 20-year historical record competing at the highest level, of a top player, right? One of the best players in the game. I'm not gonna say I'm the best, and I 100% agree with many of the comments that I get every day that I am not playing at my best. I mean, do you expect players in the off-season to be at their best? Not really, right? So COVID is the off-season for me right now. I think I play pretty well, right? Above average. I'm definitely not at my best. I would like to see those people who criticize me and love to point out my mistakes in every video, see how they do with 50 keys, 50 decks, right? But overall, that's it for me. Like, I'm hyper competitive, and so the Pokemon Players Cup is the one tournament that's official, right? Everything else, like, it's just for funsies, right? It's organized by third parties, there's things on the line, there's prestige on the line, but we all know there's a big difference between playing a league challenge where there's championship points and just playing the local tournament, right? The mindset is different. And so I've come to the conclusion, or I've come to the realization that before COVID, right, competitive tablemon, what did you hear about competitive tablemon, right? That I did well at a tournament, at a physical live tournament, at a regional, at a league cup, at an international, at any of those tournaments. I was there, and you only saw like my post throughout the day on Twitter or whatever, and the final result, right? And then perhaps my recap video days after, where I've done well and I'm happy and I'm telling you the viewer about it. However, with 50 keys, 50 decks, you are seeing how I live the competition, okay? And obviously, like, I did get toxic in a few instances. I did call players banned, which I definitely should not be doing, and I apologize for that. I do not do that in real life, right? In real life, a lot of things go through my mind, right? But in real life, I sit down, I play the game, I am very emotional. You can tell that I'm upset sometimes. You can tell that I'm getting frustrated at luck or whatever, just like you can tell in the videos, right? But in the videos, would you rather just me not talk for 30 minutes whilst you watch? I'm trying to provide the analysis, right? And then just talking whatever comes through my head. So I think this is what you don't see. This is me hyper competitive. This is how I am in essence at real life tournaments. Thing is, there aren't any, right? And before the Players Cup or online tournaments or whatever, you never saw this. All you saw was deck features featuring the latest trends or featuring whatever deck, right? And playing on the ladder. We're playing on the ladder whether I win or lose, and I'm so competitive that I care that I hate losing, right? And I get upset even when I lose on ladder, but it's very different, right? And that's the biggest thing about 50 keys, 50 decks, and that's why the content is different. The way I end up acting and portraying myself is different, right? Because that's the hyper competitive person that I am, right? When you come here and tell me to just chill, it's just a game, no, it is not for me, right? It can be for you, and that's great. But don't come over here and tell me how to approach the game, how to live the game, what to get frustrated at or not, right? Because you are not me. It's as simple as that. You don't know how COVID has affected my lifestyle, how COVID has affected my life plans, my business, which is tablemon, right? My relationship with sponsors, my income, my way of living, my activities, my motivation, right? There's so many things. And then to have people, and I know it's a very small minority that does this, but it's like, rather than going off on these people, it's like, just take a minute to think about it, seriously. Like, for you it's just a game, that's great. For me it isn't, and it never will be, okay? It never has been since I started playing at 12 years old, and now today that I turned 33 years old, today is my birthday, today I'm turning 33 years old, and Pokemon TCG is not just a game for me. It is my way of living, it is a lifestyle, it is what I chose to dedicate my life to. It's what I've been doing full time for over 4 years now, and it's a big part of my life. And there's a lot going on that nobody sees. No one but me knows what goes on with everything regarding tablemon. What you see is a fully produced 20 to 30 minute video. That's all you see. You don't see when I sit down to record. You don't see when I edit the video. You don't see how I try to get into the mindset of competing, playing, concentrating. All the work behind the scenes. You don't see it. All you see is the final 20-30 minute video, right? So anyways, I needed to get that off my chest because it feels like for the first season, there were less comments regarding like that, even though I feel like I raged more overall in the first season. This season, it really like got so many people just like criticizing me, and I welcome constructive feedback and criticism generally. You know, call me out when I'm doing something wrong. Call me out when I'm being toxic. 100% do it, right? But don't try to tell me how I should be living and approaching the game. Because no, it's not just a game for me. It absolutely isn't, and it probably has never been, right? I've always been very passionate since I was 12 years old. And today, when I'm turning 33 years old, yes, I am very passionate. Some people say that this brings me a lot of frustration and whatnot. You see me frustrated during the game because of the events that happen during the game, right? But at the end of the day, I am doing what I love, right? Less so now because of COVID, because I'm not traveling and I'm not competing, right? So that has been taken away from me, and that is part of the frustration, right? That you see come out during the videos, okay? That has been part of the whole COVID and how COVID has completely like turned around my tablemon project, life project, okay? So I built tablemon with the idea of traveling, competing, and coaching. And those three things, you know, are either gone or almost gone, okay? So it's like, it really does irk me when people say, dude, calm down, it's just a game. Like, that is my biggest pet peeve. Not my one pet. That is my biggest pet peeve. When people tell me that, it's like my blood starts boiling because what do you know? You know, generally, what do you know? Just like, I don't know. It blows my mind that people will try to lecture you on how you should approach things, right? You can absolutely tell me, dude, this happened, so you shouldn't rage as much, or we're not enjoying the rage as much in these videos, try to tune it down. That is completely fair, and that is something that I try to do as much as possible in the series, right? But dude, don't take it so seriously. Ugh, like anyways, 82, as I mentioned, I'm looking at the graphs right now in the leaderboards page, and it seems to be like the threshold for this Players' Cup will be lower, which is very weird to me since the system and the prizes got improved. So I would have expected a bigger turnout. I honestly don't know what the reason for that is. However, because the only area that seems like it will finish higher based on the predictions is Oceania, which is already very low. But Latin America and North America seemed like it will fall lower, and same for Europe. So I don't know. It's very peculiar. What will happen for Players' Cup 5? I think I'm going to continue the challenge. Like, realistically, I think what I do, right, is I set the 50 decks and then I shuffle them. I just randomize them. Looking at the list of decks in the beginning, like, luck notwithstanding, whether I got lucky or not, in the first few rounds, I did play some pretty crappy decks in the beginning, like not super hyper good. So I don't know, it feels okay that I started off so bad and then boom, right? I went on a parabolic rise, almost doing 2 points per key, which is not bad, right? Not bad. Now, the community key, I'll probably try to offer that again for Players' Cup 5, but I will set some ground rules, as I mentioned in the previous video if you saw it, because the deck that ended up winning was ridiculously bad. So I'm gonna give myself the power of veto, right? If the deck is not playable, then I'm not gonna use it, period, right? Like, no, like it felt like a wasted experiment, honestly, and I was very disappointed that people actually liked the tweet of the unplayable deck. But hey, I followed through, I made the video, the deck sucked as expected, and hopefully it changes or it's better next time. Next time we'll have Chilling Reign, so that will add even more decks. That will allow me to weed out a few of the worst decks from this season, or the gimmicky decks. So I don't know, I am actually looking forward to Players Cup 5. As I mentioned, like, this is the one official competitive thing that's out there, so that's like, this is my biggest thing for me right now. And I do enjoy it, yeah, I really do enjoy it. What you see it's like, I don't know, if any of you have played, like, I don't know, any sports or anything, it's like you leave things on the field, right? Like, once I'm done recording, once I'm done playing the key, right, 10 minutes later, I'm really happy editing the video and making the graphics, and like, I enjoy all of it, yeah, all of the content creation process. And then during the video, I'm just frustrated at Marty, right? I'm just frustrated at the matchup, but it's never against the players or my opponent, and it's like, it never lasts, right? It never lasts. I'm a full-time Pokemon content creator. I'm a full-time Pokemon TCG player. Like, on the scale, like, that is always a magical thing to say, you know. So I appreciate those that are also like worried about my mental health and the frustration that you see. I really appreciate your candor and your support, but generally, like, the first Players Cup was very intense, way more intense than this one. This one I had a ton of time to mentally prepare for, and Players Cup 5 should be even better regarding that, right? And just know that the tablemon that you see playing is a very competitive person, right? And it is a mindset that I bring to real life tournaments. So like, in real life tournaments, I'm completely quiet, I'm with my thoughts, and I'm focused on the game, right? And that's it. Here, like, when you see me recording or whatnot, like, there's other factors, right, which add to the potential misplays and mistakes. I'm worried about the computer not crashing, my internet not crashing. I'm worried about trying to analyze as much as I can for the viewer, for the entertainment factor, right? None of those things apply in real life. So in real life, I'm just focused on the game, right? I really miss that. I hope we can get back to that next year. And yeah, so like, it's, I don't know, there's just so many things, right? So many things that go on. So for someone to come here and tell me, dude, just chill out, it's just a game, like, I don't know. Anyways, that's I guess a recap for 50 keys, 50 decks. We're gonna go back to our regular schedule. I absolutely cannot keep up doing 2 videos daily. It's like, I tried, and that was my goal for the year, but it's too much. It's honestly too much. I will keep 1 daily video for sure in the channel. I think for June, I'm gonna try and do the deck previews for Chilling Reign, you know, work on some Chilling Reign lists and do like a sort of deck countdown for Chilling Reign deck lists. And yeah, we'll see what Chilling Reign brings. And of course, when Chilling Reign comes out on PTCGO, on that very day, you can expect videos on the channel. Chilling Reign, I will feature double daily videos to feature all the important decks and modifications, and then we'll slowly trickle down to 1 video per day. I really appreciate everyone's support. I really appreciate you watching this 20-minute open heart video if you did watch it the whole way through. And if you did watch it the whole way through, you know, leave a comment telling me. Leave a comment below with the keyword, or with this exactly. I can't wait for Players Cup 5, and I will give you a code. Yeah, every single person who comments that, up to 100 people, I will give you a code. But you have to comment exactly that and something else, okay? But it has to contain the phrase, I can't wait for Players Cup 5, all right? Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow for our regular deck profile and a few battles videos. Bye-bye.